Are you guys ready to get into some graphics? I know I am. And that's exactly what we're going to do in today's tutorial, the 28th Java Game Applet tutorial with me, Travis, and my Bringback. I'm glad to be your host today. And this is exactly, this isn't what this is exactly what we're going to get done in today's tutorial. Doesn't look like much, but, after we get this image set up, the next tutorial we're going to animate it to kind of make it move along kind of slowly. But we're going to get this accomplished in today's tutorial, so let's jump into it. Alright, so the first thing that we need to do is go into our starting point class. And we're going to set up some variables that we're going to need. So we're going to set up two doubles. So we're going to say double and city x. Set this equal to be 0 to start out with. This is going to be the x position of our image. We're going to also set up another double. That's going to be, how fast it scrolls across the screen. So we're going to say city dot or city dx. All right, and we're going to set our dx value to be 0.3. That's why we need doubles instead of int values, because if they're, I'll get to that in the next tutorial. It probably makes more sense here. So after we have those two doubles set up, the x position of our image and the speed of our image, we're also going to set up our URL, and we're going to say URL, bam, and image as well. The big money maker, the gold that we're doing for today's tutorial. We're going to call that image city. The next thing that we have to do is jump down to the initialize method down here and kind of set up the variables that we didn't set up in our header. So the first variable that we're going to set up is our URL. And we're first going to set up a try bracket, and we're going to say URL is equal to get document base. So there you go. That's what that looks like. We put this in the try bracket, so our URL is like, hey, try to do this URL, please, because if you don't, it's gonna not make our application look pretty, because our images won't be able to be loaded. And so, we're just going to put that in a try bracket. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes URL is kind of lazy, and he's like, yo, I just didn't feel like trying today. And we were like, hey, you're in a try bracket, man. You better try this. Well, kind of. I don't know. So anyways, we're going to say also add a catch exception. So we're going to put out a catch and then control space and then just hit enter, and it sets up our catch exception there. And there we go. We have our URL set up. What the URL is doing, what this means is it's getting the base of our document. If we go into our Finder here, oops, wrong screen. All right, so we go into our Finder, and here's our project. Our workspace here is called the Basics, and under the Basics we have this web game, and then we have the source, and here's all of our Java files. I want you guys to create a folder within our source. Within our source folder, I want you to create a folder called images, and then within the images we're going to save a PNG like I showed you in the last tutorial of our buildings. So this is a transparent background here. It's a PNG, and it's also 800 by 600 if you guys want to make your own. So there you go. Those are the dimensions. We could have cut it off here, but just to make it kind of simple to start out with, using images, I made it the same size as our applet, and there we go. Sorry to get sidetracked, but that's where you're going to save your image, and that's the base document is referring to the base of our applet. Hey applet, where are you starting from? Where is everything coming from? And this is just the base of our applet. Then we can refer to that image folder. Then we can refer to our images within the images folder, but as for now, URL just means the base of our applet. Make sense? Alright, so now what we have to do is we have to set up our actual image. So we're going to say city, set this equal to get image, and as you can see, we're going to use this one, get image URL and then a string name. So for our URL, we're just going to use URL, which is the base of our applet, and then for our name, we're actually going to refer to the path. So we're going to say within quotes images / buildings .png. Alright, now some of you guys might be like, okay, I had to pause this video a few times to catch up because I didn't have the image. Thanks a lot, douchebag. And where was I going with that? Anyways, oh yeah. Some of you guys are probably like, hey, I created the image folder, but I don't have the folder within my, source folder in Eclipse. Well, all you have to do is, again, just go to Project Clean, and then, clean your project, throw it in the bathtub, scrub-a-dub-dub, and you should have your image folder appear here. So that's how that works, and within our image folder, we have these buildings, PNG, or ping. And also another thing to note, if this extension is all capitals, like capital PNG, you want to make sure that this is capital PNG as well. It's case sensitive. So mine is lowercase, and it's going to work. Alright, so we've set up our city image. Pretty cool. All we have to do now is paint it to our applet, and again within the starting point class, we're going to scroll down to the paint method, and we are going to paint the very first thing that we're going to do, because it's in the background. We want to have this as the first lines of code. So we're going to first set up a color, which is going to be our nice starry night sky without the stars and the moon or anything like that. So we're going to refer to our graphic, and we're going to say set color, and we're going to set this to a default color, or the blue color that I had. So we're going to say set color to new color, and we're going to pass in the RGB values of 15, 77, and 147. And that should give us that nice blue. And then we're going to paint a rectangle that's going to fill our whole applet. So we're just going to say g.fill rectangle, or fill rec. We're going to refer to the 0, 0 for the starting position. For the width, we're going to say get width, and for height, we're going to say get height. So anyways, we have that set up. We have this nice color of blue, and then we want to paint our image, right? So we're just going to say G, again, our graphic, and we're going to say draw image. Pretty standard, pretty simple. But we have some different parameter options that we can choose from. We're going to choose this third one down that just takes an image, an X value, a Y value, and then an image observer. So we're going to check that. And for our image, again, we're going to refer to our city. For X position, we're going to say city X. For Y position, we're going to say 0. And for our observer, we're going to say this. And we're getting an error real quick because, again, our city X variable is a double. And with this method, it's looking for an int value. That's why we're getting the error. So all we're going to do is we're going to cast in this city X as an int value. So, that's casting there for you. And let's save this, run it. That's pretty much the end of this tutorial. And we have a nice little background scenery. So in the next tutorial, we'll talk about the animation and how to kind of cycle through and, all that stuff. So thanks again for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next tutorial, and have a good one. Throw it in the bathtub, scrub-a-dub-dub.